The freshly clinched YD Red Sox back at home for the second straight day as they close up the two-game brief home set, and they face off against a team that has had their number all season long, the Cape League's best in the Cotuit Kettleers, the leaders of the West Division. Luke West Poley with Perri Kitei alongside Perri. A good time for YD to be playing the best team in the Cape League. This is as hot as we've seen them be all season. Winners of their last four. They've outscored opponents 31-7 over that same span. They've been clicking on both sides of the ball offensively and pitching. What can we expect from this Red Sox team as they look to stay hot here against Cotuit?
YD went on a long road stretch, won all of it, and came back here and completed that with a win at home last night as well. They've had double-digit hits in all of those wins, so today the bats should be hot, but they might be stymied slightly by Cameron Hill, the starting pitcher for Cotuit, who, coming into the All-Star break, had the lowest ERA in the league at .96. He has been phenomenal. He was the All-Star starter for the West Division, but in terms of momentum, Cotuit was a team that looked as unbeatable as YD looks right now. A couple of weeks ago, and this last week, they've come back down to earth a little bit. So I think today should be a tight one. It'll really depend on YD's starting pitching, because if they can manage to keep things close until they run Cameron Hill out of the game, I think YD has a really good chance at this, but depends all on Bernie's start.
We've seen YD get to Cotuit's bullpen before, but like you've mentioned, it's just been a question of can they stay in the game early, something that they've failed to do in their first few meetings against the Kettleers. Gavin Bruni, the lefty out of Ohio State, gets the ball for Scott Pickler's club to start this one off. 6'3", 210-pound junior out of Alliance, Ohio, carries a 1-0 record into this game. This is his second start, third appearance. 7.1 ERA on the season, 6 1/3 innings pitched. Struggled with the walks a little bit. He has 7 of them, but also has 7 strikeouts in his first couple of games played against Harwich and Brewster. Red Sox looking to win their 5th in a row. They clinched playoffs yesterday. They're the first team in the East Division to do that, and the second team in the Cape League. Their opponents, the Cotuit Kettleers, being the other, as YD, following the Chatham loss, is officially clinched into postseason baseball. Now the Red Sox playing for home field advantage and a potential shot at a division title. YD has put themselves in a very good position to do so as they sit pretty far clear of the Orleans Firebirds at 4.5 games up. And the Red Sox just looking to finish strong and carry some momentum into the playoffs in the final week and change of this season. Grant Norris leads off for the Kettleers as Gavin Bruni takes the bump, and the first pitch is on the way. It's a breaking ball for a strike at 4:31 p.m. That is our start time this afternoon. Luke West Poley, Perri Kitei alongside. So glad you could join us on this Tuesday. Bruni's 0-1 falls in there for strike 2. Bruni, one of 2 Buckeyes on this team. A couple that have seen time with the Cotuit roster as well. Check swing, did he go? The appeal to first, and Joseph LaBella, our crew chief over there on the right side, says he did not. It's a ball and 2 strikes. Sunny day in South Yarmouth, Massachusetts. Bruni's 1-2 bounces in. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Last time we saw Bruni out, it was in a 15-8 lopsided loss against the Brewster Whitecaps. Gave up 5 earned in 4 innings. 2-2 drops low. Full count to Grant Norris. Out of Penn State, graduate student. Payoff pitch. Swing and a miss. Got him to chase up high. And Gavin Bruni records the strikeout on the first batter of the game. We saw an immaculate inning yesterday to kick the game off for Jason Doktorzik in his first start. Wasn't on 3 pitches, but Gavin Bruni gets the same result to the first batter on the strikeout here today as Trevor Haskins comes in.
That was a massive strikeout for Bruni because Norris prior to that was 4 for 4 versus YD pitching.
Swing and a miss on the initial offering. Haskins goes down 0-1.
He had 2 runs scored and 2 runs batted in, so retiring him as the leadoff was a great way to start this game.
Haskins puts a charge into this one out towards right center, going way back. It's off the wall on the fly. Recovered quickly. The throw into second is not in time, and it's a one-out double by Trevor Haskins, putting a man in scoring position for the Kettleers in the first.
That ball was cracked. YD's lucky it didn't get out of here. Hit off the fence in the air. The launch angle just wasn't high enough, but Trevor Haskins had every piece of that ball.
So now Cole Mathis up to the plate. YD has seen plenty of him. The two-way out of college at Charleston. He takes the first pitch strike. Cape League All-Star. Was 0 for 2 in the All-Star game, but walked and scored a run for the victorious West Division. See the slider there from Gavin Bruni on the 0-1 offering, misses in. Mathis was last in the batting lineup on July 15th against YD. He's appeared in a bunch of games since then. That's the last time YD's seen him at the plate as he takes strike two. He's also pitched one game against the Red Sox this season. Gave up 2 earned across 2 innings. Playing at first base today. Bruni's 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Tied him up on the breaking ball in, and there are 2 gone in the first as Cole Mathis goes down on strikes.
Next up, out of Kentucky, number 13, James McCoy.
So now James McCoy, the Kentucky Wildcat. Trying to keep this inning alive and prevent the runner being stranded in scoring position. Pushes one foul. YD has done a really good job over these past couple of days in stranding base runners. In the sweep over the 2-game set against the Orleans Firebirds, they stranded 10 yesterday and 11 2 days ago. A couple of YD victories. That pitch is off the plate. In fact, it was so good yesterday that they stranded 10 on base, gave up 10 hits, and didn't give up a run. YD was a 5-0 winner yesterday off a gem from Jason Doktorzik in his first start. Gave up 6 hits across 6 innings, no free passes, and 7 strikeouts. Pitch slides just off the plate. Some arm side run on that offering from Gavin Bruni. 2 balls and a strike. Coy takes in on the hands, and it's 3-1. Three balls and a strike to McCoy. And he launches this one out towards center field, but it should stay playable for Paxton Kling at the wall, who reaches up and makes the catch casually to that ball that carried much deeper than most people here at Red Wilson probably thought, but it stays in the yard, and Gavin Bruni gets out of the first scoreless, headed to the bottom of the first inning from Red Wilson Field, 0-0 between the Kettleers and the Red Sox on the Cape League. Scoreless after a half inning from Red Wilson Field as R.J. Austin leads off, and it's the big lefty and ace of the Cotuit staff that will meet in the clash between division leaders as Cameron Hill starts the game for the Kettleers, 6'6", 215 away. 4-1 to R.J. Austin. Cameron Hill has been one of the most electric pitchers in the entire Cape League this season. All-star starter in the West. So Austin swings and misses at the 1-0 offering. First starter from Cotuit since 2010 and got the winning decision in the All-Star game, pitching the first inning. Austin hits this one well out towards left field, but it's kicking down, and Brock Wills comes in and makes the catch after being positioned pretty deep. Austin sees a couple of pitches, finds one he likes, but can't quite get it out of here over the left field fence. One out for Ryan Stafford. Balls were carrying very well pregame here at Red Wilson Field. This is, of course, a hitter's ballpark. That's no secret, but many, many more home runs in batting practice than we're used to seeing. Expect a lot of balls hit pretty deep here today.
Ryan Stafford moved further up in the lineup than we have come to expect. He's on a 5-game hit streak.
Check swing. They say he doesn't go, so he takes ball 2. Stafford foul tips the 2-0 offering. He wasn't in the lineup yesterday, but his last appearance against the Orleans Firebirds 2 days ago saw him go 2 for 5 after an 0 for 3 start. He ended with a pair of base hits. Stafford takes high in the 2-1, and it's 3 balls and a strike. You remember back to the one time that Cameron Hill has pitched against YD already this season. Came in with just 2 walks through 5 appearances as Stafford swings and misses at the 3-1 offering, make it a full count, and he walked 3 batters early on in that game, which was uncharacteristic from him, but he only ended up giving up 1 run as he deals ball 4 outside. So Stafford is aboard. Get this, though, for Hill. He has only had 2 appearances this season across 9 for Cotuit and 1 in the All-Star game where he has given up a run. One of them was against YD. One of them was his last appearance in a game for Cotuit as he gave up 2 in 3 1/3 against Chatham. In a wild one, a 12-12 tie in which the Anglers trailed 12-2 and came all the way back to tie the game, which had a very controversial ending. Runner goes on the first pitch. It's outside, and Johnson can't get rid of it. How about the catcher showing off the wheels? Ryan Stafford moves into scoring position. And YD with a shot to strike first here with one of their hottest hitters at the plate in Braden Montgomery. Hitting .333, an OPS of .867. Takes ball 2 down.
I think Johnson's rhythm just got messed up because Stafford had an okay jump, but Johnson absolutely had the time to gun him down, even by the time he was on his feet. So I don't know if he lost his grip or something and just decided to eat it to play things safe.
Slider drops low, 3 balls and no strikes. Montgomery ahead in the count here. We've seen green lights before in these situations, especially with power threats at the plate. And he gets one here, but can't connect. 3 balls and a strike to Braden. In the transfer portal out of Stanford.
It's his Stanford teammate, Trevor Haskins, that hit that double in the top half of the first.
His Team USA teammate Ryan Stafford on second, and he rips this one down the line, but foul.
That almost cracked into Coach Pickler's ankle. Hopped out of the way at the last second.
Dangerous spot in the third base coach's box. Full count to Montgomery. Second straight full count we've seen. And that's low for ball 4. So for the second straight outing against YD, Cameron Hill has dealt out a couple of walks early on. And now Hunter Hines comes up with runners on base. Not a spot you want to be in for YD's potential MVP candidate, who has seen his RBI total just climb and climb and climb with every passing day. Takes the first pitch down low for ball one. 37 runs driven in and 33 games played for Hunter Hines. And Hill just not giving him anything to swing at right now, 2-0.
Hill continues to miss low below the zone, and he has a couple of these sinkers that I think YD has realized if they just hold back on them, they're not sliding up in the top half of the zone. They're just dropping below the knees.
That time he swings away and comes up empty on the pitch up high. 2 balls and a strike to Hunter Hines. Over the course of this win streak, YD has struck first in 3 of the 4 games as Hines takes ball 3. Only game that they didn't was the first game of the streak against Chatham, in which they gave up a couple of runs but responded in the next half inning. That paints the black on the outer corner. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Hunter Hines.
Third full count, 3 batters here from Cam Hill to start things off. First 2 have ended in walks.
This is certainly what you want to see against the other side's ace. Payoff is lifted up, left center field, going back to his Matheson at the wall, and it's caught in left field by Brock Wills. Runner tags, and Stafford will reach there standing up. That ball was deceptively long, as it often is off the bat of Hunter Hines. Has so much muscle behind it. Swing doesn't always look like a home run swing, and next thing you know, the ball's all the way up against the fence. Brock Wills puts that one away for the second out of the inning. Runners on the corners now for Xander Darby, who has been red hot over these last few days. 3 for 4 yesterday, or I beg your pardon, 2 for 3 with a walk. Swings and misses at the first pitch for strike 1. This would be deja vu if YD got a couple of free passes against Cameron Hill and failed to do damage against him in the first inning.
Xander Darby has been acting as this anchor in the middle of the lineup. He's become so reliable every day.
Puts the bunt up there and goes around for strike 2. Got the corner infielders to panic a bit there for Cotuit, but could not connect on the ball. Darby's average up to 310, with the OPS up near 900. Down 0-2. Hill's got excellent breaking stuff. He went to it there, and it slides just off the plate. A ball and 2 strikes. Runner goes. Swing and a miss from Darby. And that ends the inning. So Cameron Hill strands a couple of base runners for YD, who had first and second, 1 out, and failed to capitalize. We are still scoreless here from Red Wilson Field. Stay tuned. You're watching YD Baseball on the Cape League Broadcast.
Mention the Cape Cod Baseball League and get your first.
No score between YD and Cotuit in the top of the second inning in a Tuesday afternoon clash between each division's best team. Luke West Poley, Perri Kitei alongside. Happy birthday, Perri Kitei. Turns 20 years old today.
Thanks, Luke.
Carter Matheson takes the ball low. Summer birthdays get no love. So
Luke, yours is coming up soon. I will return the love right back.
no comment. He takes the 1-0 outside. Also, happy birthday to Kieran Wilson, our beat writer, one of our couple of beat writers. It is also his birthday today. Bruni has dealt out 3 straight balls to begin this inning. Did not walk a batter in that first, struck out 2, and stranded a runner in scoring position. Both teams threatened with runners on base in the last inning, but failed to score. And Bruni misses just off the upper corner there for ball 4.
Next up, out of the College of Charleston, number 11, Dylan Johnson.
Dylan Johnson up to the plate now for Cotuit. Runner on first and nobody out. He takes a strike. Johnson making his 5th appearance for Cotuit. He has been off to a strong start, hitting .467, 7 for his first 15.
He had a really strong season over at Florence Darling Tech, a junior college, and has recently announced his transfer intentions to the College of Charleston, taking his skills to the D1 level.
3 College of Charleston guys, current or future, on this team for Mike Roberts' club in Cotuit. 1 ball and 1 strike. Breaks inside, 2-1. College of Charleston had a very strong basketball season, that perhaps what caught the most headlines this year. The top non-power teams in the nation. This one gets away from Stafford. Runner will move up into scoring position as Matheson scoots 90 feet.
A lot of people had College of Charleston as their go-to 12-over-5
I was one of
matchup
them.
in the March Madness basketball tournament. Personally, I made a video about why Furman was going to beat UVA and was really happy when that worked out for me. I did have a couple of brackets with Charleston winning, I will say that.
See a pitching coach out to the mound. I did pick Furman over UVA in a couple of brackets, although I can't say with the ending that game had that there was a tremendous amount of foresight and skill involved on my part. Turnover and a half-court buzzer beater to win the game.
It's what March Madness is all about.
It is. So that's the first mound visit for Gavin Bruni, who has been a little bit around the zone here in this second inning. Three balls and a strike is the count to Johnson. And he takes ball 4. 2 straight walks to begin the second inning for Gavin Bruni, the lefty.
Next up, out of Bucknell, number 17.
And that brings up Sean Keys, who recently made his debut for the Kettleers. One for 3 this season with an RBI. Beautiful breaking ball from Gavin Bruni returns him to the zone for strike 1. pitch is off the plate. Runner was moving up from first, but there was a man in front of Dylan Johnson, so he couldn't move up. He has to quickly run back to the bag. Sean Keys at a Bucknell led the Patriot League in slugging percentage at .679 and OPS at 1.123. And he rolls this one over towards first. Gleed will step on the bag, and that's his only play. Shuffling over to it to get the sure out. Serves the same as a bunt there for Sean Keys as the 3 unassisted puts 2 in scoring position. One away for Trotter Harlan. Another guy from College of Charleston. Out of Fountain Inn, South Carolina. Playing his college ball in his home state. Chance to drive in the game's first runs as the infield comes halfway in for YD. Perri gets a jam shot on the first pitch, foul.
First time Trotter Harlan is facing YD this season. He was in the lineup the last time these two teams saw each other. On the roster, but he was not in the lineup.
6 games played this season, 4 for 10 at the plate with 5 runs scored and 4 walks. Takes the ball high. So he's shown discipline, he's shown ability to get on base. Bolstering this bottom of the lineup. Cotuit has wavered a little bit over these past few days, but the new additions for Mike Roberts have not missed a beat in keeping them atop the West. They have front-run that division the whole season. They were the first team in the league to clinch a playoff spot, only team to do it prior to the All-Star break. Bad news for the Kettleers is that the Hyannis Harborhawks have been tremendously hot lately and have closed the gap near the top of the division. 3 balls and a strike now, the count to Trotter Harlan. He's DHing today. Heading into his 5th-year season. He takes ball 4. Gavin Bruni has not given up a hit in this inning, but finds himself in a bases-loaded 1-out situation. Corner infield is going to stay in for YD. Middle will back up in double play depth. Brings up the 9-hitter Brock Wills. A lot of new faces in this batting lineup. Wills is not one of them. YD's seen him already this season. .333 hitter at UNC Wilmington. First pitch ball.
That one flew over Will's head. Stafford miraculously getting to it before it gets to the backstop. That would have definitely brought a run across.
Bases are juiced. Bruni has 1 wild pitch in this inning so far. Didn't end up mattering, but now he is in quite a jam as he is 2 pitches away from potentially walking in the first run of the game. Looking to find the strike zone here.
Bruni this season has allowed 5 runs on 7 walks and 8 hits. He had a nice first appearance for YD when he came in relief. His last start, however, was the bulk of those numbers coming across.
Pitcher has begun warming up in the YD bullpen. .2-0 is hit sky high out into right field. This should be plenty deep enough. Paxton Kling underneath it. He makes the catch. Throws a cannon in, but it's cut off by Dub Gleed, and it's a sac fly as Matheson scores. Brock Wills drives in the first run of the game, and back to the top of the order. First and second with 2 away now for Grant Norris, and Cotuit leads 1-0.
At the end of the day, a sac fly is not the worst thing to give up in that situation. You get your second out, you bring one across, but now there's nobody on third. So, and you also have two gone. You can't put it in the outfield again if you're Cotuit, at least towards a YD outfielder.
Perri gets Norris to swing and miss, at it for strike one. Hanging the left arm. Trying to get out of this inning. Infield playing straight up. Misses upstairs on the 0-1 offering. It's a ball and a strike. One, and that paints the edge for strike two. A ball and 2 strikes to Grant Norris. Bruni's got 2 strikeouts, looking for a third here to wrap up the top of the second inning. 1-2. Fouled back. And so Norris will stay alive, but Bruni has certainly found his way back towards the strike zone. After being a little bit wild, the walks seem to have ceased, at least for now.
The nice thing about the sac fly is that it got the runner off at third, so it gives Bruni a little bit more breathing room with these pitches.
1-2, did he go? No. Norris just held up on the check swing. And it's 2 balls and 2 strikes on a pitch that missed just off the plate. The 2-2, way up high, ball 3. So the runners get a head start. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Cotuit leading 1-0. Norris trying to keep this rally going for the Kettleers as they look to punch harder in the top of the second, already with 1 run. Bernie's payoff. Struck him out. Got a swing and a miss on the breaking ball. 3rd strikeout for Gavin Bruni, and that retires the side as he limits the damage to 1. YD will look to answer as they bring up Lee, Jackson, Kling, who are due when we come back. You're watching Red Sox baseball on the Cape League. Back with you here at Red Wilson Field. Luke West Poley with Perri Kitei. Kettleers 1, Red Sox nothing. YD left 2 on base last time, but still looking to get their first hit against Cameron Hill, who struck out 1 and got a couple of flyouts in the first inning. Doug Gleed is the batter for YD. Pumps the first pitch foul. Crowd, as they have with these earlier 4:30 starts, making their way into Red Wilson Field as this game has progressed through the early innings. lead chases that one up high, 0-2.
It's been really crowded here every day at Red Wilson. For the bulk of the season, Red Wilson was on the lower side of attendance at ballparks, but as of late, it's been absolutely packed, almost as packed as it was during the week of the 4th of July.
Gleed flies this one to the right side. Foul territory, losing the hat, now moseying back, the catch made by Cole Mathis.
Next up, out of USC, number 6, Ryan Jackson.
See the fans lining the outfield fence, which is always a good sign as to how crowded the stadium is. Very relaxed atmosphere here at Red Wilson Field. Each field tends to have their own vibe in this league as Ryan Jackson takes the first pitch outside. A lot of room for him to go up the middle. YD did that a lot yesterday. Pitch falls in for strike one.
Jackson riding the same hit streak as Stafford at 5 coming into today. 4 of those have been multi-hit games.
He takes the ball outside, 2-1. Was very productive yesterday for YD with a single, a run scored, and also a sacrifice bunt that led to a 2-run 4th inning that really put YD in the driver's seat. Swing and a miss on the 2-1 offering. 2-2 to the USC Trojan. Pops it foul. Sunny day here from South Yarmouth as the Red Sox close up their brief road stint. They will be back here this weekend, but game in Hartford tomorrow and then a day off following that. Ball 3 up at the shoulders, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Red Sox have not had a scheduled off day in a while.
Cam Hill up to 34 pitches already, just through 1 1/3.
Another 3-2. Did he go around? They say he did, and Ryan Jackson goes down on strikes. Full counts have been commonplace in this game against Cameron Hill, but he has worked around them. Dealt out a couple of walks, but most important thing, he hasn't given up a run. 2 away for Paxton Kling. Drops low for ball 1. Paxton stole 2 bases yesterday. Said that he has stolen 2 bases before, but not in college, as they don't really steal bases at LSU. It's not part of the philosophy, and when they have that much power in their batting lineup as they did this year on that national championship winning team, you can understand why. Kling takes a strike in there on the 2-0 pitch. Trying to keep this inning going. That's why he looks to avoid going in order. Shovels the bottom part of the zone there on the 2-1. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Kling. Hill ended the first with a strikeout. Just retired Ryan Jackson on the swinging K. Swing and a miss on the 2-2 to Kling, and that ends the second inning. So Cotuit strikes first in this one. YD fails to answer as they go in order in the bottom of the second inning, headed to the third. It's the 2-3-4 hitters due up for Cotuit when we come back. You're watching Red Sox baseball on the Cape League broadcast.
Trevor
1-0 Kettleers here in the top of the third inning. Gavin Bruni back to the bump. Luke West Poley with Perri Kitei as always. So glad you could join us on this Tuesday afternoon from Red Wilson Field. Another beautiful day for Cape Cod baseball as the first pitch is outside to Trevor Haskins, member of the Stanford Cardinal, who hit an opposite field double into the gap his last time up that nearly left the ballpark. Off the end of the bat, this one will slice foul. 1 ball and 1 strike to Haskins. Gavin Bruni gave up 1 run off no hits in the last inning. Haskins double, the only hit through 10 batters for Cotuit. Kettleers looking to get back into the win column. Hyannis has made it a race in the West Division when we didn't think it would be very close around mid-season, chasing the 2-1 offering up high. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Haskins. Kettleers currently sit at 23-11-1. Hyannis on their hot streak up to 21-13-2. 2-2 is tapped foul.
Trevor Haskins had an okay freshman season. He didn't play very many games, just about 13. And this season in 2023, he was dealing with injury. Only batted .083 in 24 at-bats all season.
Reaches for it and grounds it to the left side, hustling to it. Darby lost it out of the glove. And Haskins will reach. It'll be scored in E5, so Haskins will not get his second hit. But the leadoff man is on for Cotuit. Leadoff man scored a run in the last inning. Cole Mathis at the dish. He's 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Man on first as Ryan Jackson comes behind the second base bag for the Red Sox defensively. Ball down low for Mathis. J.C. Fernandez calling balls and strikes today behind home plate. Joseph Labella at first as the crew chief. This one lifted up and way far gone foul.
Happy birthday to Cole Mathis, my birthday twin. We were born on the exact same day, July 25th, 2003.
Yeah, a lot of birthdays today. Ball and a strike. And he hits this one well out towards center field, going back, Kling at the wall, leaping up, and it is out of here. Cole Mathis goes yard for the Kettleers. That's his 8th of the year as he leads the team. Only a couple behind YD's Hunter Hines. It's a center field shot, and it's 3-0 Cotuit in the top of the third.
Next up, out of Kentucky, number 13.
This really does feel like deja vu, Luke, from the last time these two teams played each other. That score at one point was 3-1 Kettleers before they broke it open in the later innings.
Coy sends a rocket foul on the first pitch of the at-bat. Kettleers have had YD's number. The Red Sox have not beaten them yet this season. 0-1 off the plate. 1 ball and 1 strike.
McCoy has not had the easiest time for his YD pitching this season. He is 0-for-6 with 2 walks.
Flew out to center his first time up in this game. Big swing and a miss at the 1-1 offering. This is the final meeting between these two teams in the regular season, so the next time they could meet would be in the Cape League Championship if both teams got there. 1-2 is high. Opponents left on the schedule for YD: Hyannis, Bourne, Harwich, Brewster, Chatham, Orleans, Wareham, and then the regular season is done.
It's really flown by.
Yeah, it has. 2-2 hits him. Bruni just yanked that one, and he plunks McCoy to put him on first base.
Free passes have been the story of the day so far. for Gavin Bruni. He has 3 walks, now a hit batter as well. That's 4 free passes through these first 2 2/3.
Carter Matheson coming up to hit for Cotuit, and here comes Scott Pickler. The man warming up in the bullpen is Gage Williams out of Georgia Gwinnett, who had a debut for YD and is yet to make his second appearance. He was pretty strong in his 1 inning of work, gave up the home run that all these YD pitchers seem to have given up in their debuts, but outside of that was very strong, did not give up any other hits, and had a pair of strikeouts, and the Red Sox are going to call to him here in the top of the 3rd inning, with Cotuit already adding on a pair to their lead. We'll step aside as Gage Williams gets ready to enter this game. It's 3-0 Kettleers. You are watching YD Baseball on the Cape League Broadcast Network. Top of the 3rd inning, and Gage Williams taking over on the mound for YD. Second appearance for the 6'5", 220-pound righty out of Georgia Gwinnett College. He will face off against Carter Matheson. Slider flies away for ball 1. Cotuit has added 2 to their lead here in the 3rd as Cole Mathis hit his home run that brought in a pair. 8th of the year. This one hit pretty well out towards the right center gap. Kling going back and leaping up, it's over his head. He'll fire it in quickly over towards second base, but runners move to second and third. Kling nearly had that one, but it just got over and hit off the top of the wall. It's a double for Carter Matheson, and the extra base hits now pouring in for Cotuit here in the 3rd.
Tough first batter to face for Gage Williams, who's only pitched 1 inning this season, gave up a run off 1 hit. He was part of a streak of YD pitchers that gave up a home run in their debut. There has been a coincidentally odd number of YD pitchers who have given up a home run in their debut.
First pitch strike to Dylan Johnson. Max Banks, Ryan Delgado, engage Williams. 3 guys that did that for YD. 0-1 is taken down in the dirt. Boston Mabius exercised the curse yesterday by making his Red Sox debut, coming up with a 9-out save in the win and not giving up any runs. One is taken up high, 2 balls and a strike.
This strike zone has been really tight up at the top. We've seen a couple of umpires who have given those strikes up close to where the letters would be, but today none of that. Anything slightly above the hands has not been called a strike today.
2-0 is a ball inside, or the 2-1 rather. That makes it 3 balls, 1 strike. Base is open at first, but you'd hate to load them again as they were in the last inning. Johnson was the second of back-to-back walks before a third came 2 batters later to load the bases. And a ball low. So Williams issues his first walk. And with still nobody out in the inning, the bases are loaded for Sean Keys, who grounded out to first base his last time up.
The corners are coming in for YD. Best thing here would be something on the ground, the play at the plate.
First pitch is crushed out towards right field. Backtracking Montgomery at the wall. It's gone. Grand slam, Sean Keys. His first homer of the year. And Cotuit blasts this one open in the third.
An attainable housing fund in support of local workforce housing initiatives.
Well, Luke, you said that balls would carry out of here today on the wind, and we have seen a couple of them already, unfortunately for YD, both off Cotuit bats. That one was smashed. Montgomery took a couple of steps just for show, but everyone here knew it was gone. Sean Keys put the barrel to the ball, and Williams has now given up that long ball.
Chopper over towards short, tough play. The throw on to first is scooped out by Dub Gleed. Nice play by Theo Hardy to get the first out of the inning. Finally, as the Red Sox get Trotter Harlan to ground out.
That was really important for momentum. At least if the bases are clear, you have to keep them clear in this situation. You can't give Cotuit a chance to add on to their tally. They've put up 6 in the third already. That was a really nice play, charging in off the bounce from Theo Hardy.
Brock Wills now the batter. He had the first RBI of the game for Cotuit on the sac fly. Final line is set on Gavin Bruni, who has now seen all his responsible base runners come across. Pitch is in there for a strike. Bruni gave up 4 runs off 3 earned. 2 hits, 3 walks, 3 strikeouts in 2 innings. Came out for the third inning and did not record an out. 2 balls and a strike, the count to Brock Wills. And this one is drilled high and deep towards right. Montgomery going back, and that ball is off the top of the wall, and it stays in the yard. Rounding second, heading for third. The throw from Hardy is in time on the relay. 9-6-3. They put him out at third base as Brock Wills is gunned down, trying to stretch it to a triple. That's a big second out of the inning for YD and prevents another man in scoring position for Cotuit as that flips back to the top of the order.
That is, I think, the luckiest thing I've ever seen in my life. That bounced off the yellow tape. I thought it was bouncing out, and somehow it stayed in the infield, or it stayed in the ballpark. And wow, I am amazed at what I just saw. And then the throw from Braden Montgomery, not phased at all. It was a rocket, and Hardy had him by a couple of feet. That was a perfect relay. for out number 2.
Grounder to short. Hardy has it skip up on him and handcuffs him and into center field. Not much he could do about that one. Had it well tracked, but hit something out there on the dirt and popped way up on him on the last second. So Norris is aboard, and Cotuit has officially batted around. Have to check on scoring decision there. Still hasn't been put up yet, but that will bring up Trevor Haskins for the second time in this inning. He reached on an error to kick it off. And watches a first pitch strike go by. 6 runs for Cotuit in this third inning, and they lead it 7-0. And the batter is hit as Haskins wears that one on the shoulder, and the inning will continue.
Next up, out of the College of Charleston, number 23, Cole Mathis.
Second hit batter of this inning. Looks like they gave Norris the base knock. Home plate umpire calling someone out of the Cotuit dugout. It's because there is a stray strap that was on the first base side. Cole Mathis at the plate. He homered already in this inning. It's a nice birthday gift for himself. Coming up for the second time, takes the ball low. The first time he faces off against Gage Williams.
I have seen a 2-home run inning once in my life from the same person. I was a Northwestern softball player. Kansas Robinson hit 2 home runs in the same inning.
Grounder to short. Hardy backhand flip to second for 1. That's all they need. And that retires a disastrous third inning for YD. Cotuit opens this one up in the third. And one of the league's best offenses shows their stuff as the Kettleers lead at 7-0. YD looks for a much-needed answer when we come back. You're watching Red Sox baseball on the Cape. Seven nothing. The Kettleers lead the Red Sox in the bottom of the third inning from Red Wilson Field. Luke West Poley and Perri Kitei with you. Get a rescore that involves Theo Hardy, and it's a bad one for him as the grounder to him from Grant Norris has changed from a hit to an error, so Hardy will be charged with that. Meanwhile, YD looks for their first run and their first hit in a game that has been devoid of offense on the Red Sox side of things. They went down 1-2-3 against Cotuit ace Cameron Hill in the last inning. Hardy takes the ball high 1-1. Cotuit scored 6 runs in the top of the third and chased YD starter Gavin Bruni out of the game before he could record an out. And then proceeded to hit around Gage Williams pretty well. He is responsible for 3 of those 7 runs. 1-2 to Hardy. And he breaks his bat but flies it into right field. Coming in on it, McCoy was playing the dump shot and has the room to make the catch.
Now batting out of Vanderbilt.
One away in the bottom of the
number
third for
9,
R.J. Austin.
R.J. Austin.
McCoy was playing crazy shallow on that. He was perfectly placed on what otherwise should have dropped in for a bloop shot. If Hardy hadn't broken his bat and pushed it over the head, that could have been a triple.
First pitch is in there for a strike to Austin. He takes the ball up high, 1-1. Hill shakes one, nods the second. He comes in on Austin, 2 balls and a strike.
The friendship between R.J. Austin and Cameron Hill is one of my favorite stories in this league. The two of them are childhood best friends, and Austin said that when he was a kid.
Rips this one left side into the left field for a base hit. He's got his first hit of the day and continues his streak along.
It's Red Sox first hit of the day. But Austin said that when he was 8 years old, his parents, for the first time, let him spend the night at a friend's house, and that friend was Cameron Hill, who he grew up playing baseball with in Atlanta. And since then, the two of them have been best friends. They faced off against each other in the All-Star game. RJ said it's really special to be out here doing it together and to both be so successful. It's been really a pleasure all season. Cameron Hill, for the most part, has had RJ's number. He's had a tough time against his childhood friend, but today rips it through the 5-6 hole.
Didn't get a hit off him in the All-Star game, but that was a hit and a loud one at that. Ryan Stafford takes the ball up high. Ball and no strikes to the Waddy catcher. Red Sox just looking to get something this early in the game. You still got plenty of time if you can paper cut your way through these next couple of innings, get a few runs and get yourself back in it, but it's going to take some rallying.
And it's going to be tough against probably the best pitcher in the league, at least up there with them.
I would certainly say that Cameron Hill is the running favorite right now to win the best pitcher of the league. 2 balls and a strike now to Ryan Stafford.
Hill just finished his sophomore year at Georgia Tech.
Stayed in the hometown to play his college ball. R.J. Austin headed up north a bit to Vanderbilt and Nashville. 3 balls, 1 strike now to Stafford.
Hill is already up to 52 pitches. If YD could even just stand in here and continue to run up that pitch count, it would be huge to biting back at this Cotuit lead as we get to later innings.
That's ball 4. So first and second with 1 out. Whitey's been in this position before. That was back in the first inning, and fly out and a strikeout later, they failed to score.
Next up, out of Stanford,
Braden Montgomery,
Braden
who
Montgomery.
walked as a part of that pair of base runners in the first inning, is up at the plate. First pitch slider off the plate, 1-0. Montgomery packs some pop. Seen extra base stuff from him this season, yet to see the deep fly. Hill will check on R.J. Austin over at second base. Saw the Red Sox try to execute a double steal yesterday, and Austin got thrown out at third base. Ball comes in on the hands, 2-0.
Stafford already has a stolen base today, but with 1 gone, I think YD trying to play it safe here, considering the lead Cotuit's taken.
No real reason to steal in this spot necessarily. Hard roller, left side and foul. 2-1 the count to Montgomery, still ahead. Montgomery's second straight year as a member of the Red Sox. Two-way. Watches the ball right upstairs, 3-1. Good part of the order if you're looking for power, with Montgomery followed by Hines and Darby. Montgomery, a guy that Certainly brings a lot of pop. Hines, the home run leader, and Darby, the guy who's probably brought the most extra base hits lately, and that's ball 4. So hold your horses here for the Red Sox in the bottom of the third. They got the bases loaded as Montgomery works his second walk.
Next up, out of Mississippi State.
Dylan Johnson out to talk to his pitcher as Hunter Hines gets ready to stand in. He's got a grand slam already on the year.
He almost put it out of the park his first time around. His carried all the way out to the fence before the over-the-shoulder grab from Matheson in center.
A homer here could put Hines over the 40 RBI mark. He has already eclipsed the league's leader from last season. Takes a first pitch for strike 1. Good pitch to hit there over the plate, but Hines watches it go by. No balls and a strike. 0-1, he took a check at it, and they say he went around for strike 2. A tough break for Hunter. Scott Pickler audibly disagreeing from third base. No balls and 2 strikes to Hunter. Checks his swing again. It's a ball and 2 strikes. There will be no appeal as that ball just trickled away from Johnson as Cameron Hill gets a new baseball. I'd like to say Cameron Hill has done a good job limiting the power against, but he's just limited everything against him, only giving up 3 runs. 1-2, check swing. Did he go? Yes, he did. Strike 3.
Those
Hines
are 2 tough strike calls.
took a second just digging around in the box, looking out at the second base umpire after that call was made. It's a tough end to a tough at-bat from Hunter Hines. And the Red Sox will place their hopes on the bat of Xander Darby to try and get something in this third inning. Darby swings and misses at the breaking ball, 0-1.
I just heard what I think might be one of my favorite cheers from the crowd all year, which was, "Come on, Darby I." Like RBI with the bases loaded. That's a good one. That's clever. I appreciate some good wordplay.
Swing and a miss from Darby. He's down 0-2. Xander's driven in 13 this season. Places him third on the team. Down 0-2, the pitch. Called strike 3. Cameron Hill, another Houdini act in the third. And the Red Sox fail to salvage a run and stay down by 7. Headed to the middle innings, a lot of work to do for this YD team. You're listening to Red Sox Baseball on the Cape League.
Top of the fourth at Red Wilson Field, and for Cotuit, it's been bend but do not break as YD has left 5 runners on board. The Kettleers lead 7-0. And we've seen a couple of substitutions as Connor Dykstra has come in behind the plate. Ryan Stafford has moved out to left field, and Austin has shifted over to center. First time we've seen him in the outfield anywhere but left field. The infield has stayed the same, and Gage Williams is back on the mound facing James McCoy as he kicks and deals the first pitch. Huge cut and a miss for strike one. The infield backed up at regular depth. As has been the story all season, Cotuit is the one team that YD does not go to the aggressive shifts against. As the 0-1 flies in high at the shoulders, every other team, at least one batter, it feels like, will see 3 on either side of the bag, whether that's 3 to the right or 3 to the left. But against Cotuit, that is not the case. Called strike 2 comes in on the batter on that inside corner, and Williams is ahead. 1-2 with nobody gone as McCoy leads off the inning. He's 0 for 1 today with a fly out and a hit by pitch. Jams it foul and out of play. Count will stay at 1-2. McCoy plays at Kentucky. Batted .228 there in the 2023 season.
Switch hitter. He's batting from the left side now against the righty Gage Williams.
1-2, swung on and missed. Strike 3. Gage Williams comes into the 4th inning hot, and McCoy goes down on strikes. For out number 1, it's Carter Matheson
Next up, out of Indiana.
coming
number
up
12,
next.
Carter Matheson.
Matheson has reached on a walk and then a double that went off the fence. As ball 1 flies in low and away. It's a hot one today in the mid-80s. Feels hotter in the sun, but the wind blowing around. As ball 2 flies in on the outside half of the zone. Williams fires, and it's skied high into shallow left field. Darby coming over now in foul territory. Campton makes the grab. 2 gone.
Yeah, good return to form here for Gage Williams after it was a bit of a struggle coming in relief in that last inning, but he's retired the first 2 batters with some efficiency. Love to see him hang a couple of zeros, give his team a shot to claw their way back through these middle innings.
We've seen a pattern all season with YG pitchers coming in relief and having shaky starts before settling in. First pitch flared foul from Dylan Johnson, who's walked twice today, making his 3rd plate appearance. His elbow guard flew off as well, so it'll take some time to put it back on. Nobody in the YD pen. This is Williams for a while. I think 2 innings is the shortest we've seen a YD starter go all season. It's chopped on the ground towards 3rd. Darby has it on a hop. The throw across the diamond in time, and Williams goes 1, 2, 3 in the 4th to hang a 0. And YD will try to plate a few runs of their own when we come back on the Cape League.
Now batting.
Dub Gleed leads off in the 6th spot for YD at the bottom of the 4th. It's been scoreless for the Red Sox through 3. They've stranded 5 on base, including leaving them loaded against Cam Hill in the 3rd, but Cotuit has a new guy on the mound, and it's one that YD does well as Gleed pops it into center field, and Matheson comes in on it, playing shallow. Plenty of time to get over there. 1 pitch, 1 out for Cam Schulke. Schulke has a really interesting delivery. He comes out of a side arm slot.
Now batting.
He's a submariner, and also you remember from last time, sometimes he'll just throw over the top, and it throws these hitters off a lot.
First pitch, bunt shown and pulled back to Ryan Jackson, but it's a called strike 1 as he falls behind. Has struck out swinging once today. YD only on their 2nd time through the order. Cotuit has lapped them already at the plate. The 0-1 flies in on the inside half of the zone. Schulke coming out firing. And Jackson's down 0-2, trying to avoid his 2nd strikeout of the day. Looking to continue his 5-game hitting streak as the 0-2 comes in. A swing and a miss, strike 3. Jackson goes down on an ugly-looking late swing. Just tried to foul off a piece of it and was unsuccessful. That brings up Connor Dykstra taking over for Paxton Kling. Dykstra is a catcher out of George Mason. And he holds off on a first pitch ball. There is so much lateral movement on these pitches from Schulke. That one started off in line with Dykstra and finished in the lefty box. The 1-0 this time is located perfectly on the outside half of the zone, strike 1. One and one with 2 gone. An identical strike to the last one flies in, and Dykstra has 1 strike away from ending this one. Schulke has just 7 pitches so far. The 1-2, swing and a miss, strike 3, and YD will not bite back in this inning. We head to the top of the 5th as they go quietly in the 4th. It's Perri, Kitei, and Luke West Poley. You're watching YD Baseball on the Cape League Broadcast.
Now batting out of the box now.
Sean Keys, the grand slam hitter today, leads off against Gage Williams. Back on the mound after a 1-2-3 inning in the 4th. First one of those for YD today. As Williams kicks and deals the first pitch, bounces in low, nicely scooped by Dykstra. 4-1. Keys standing tall in the lefty box as the 1-0 flies in and misses just below the zone for ball 2. This is Keys' just 2nd game as a member of the Kettleers. Check swing called, strike 1. He had 1 hit coming into today with 1 RBI. Add that 2 hits now, 5 RBIs. The 2-1 flies in wide. 3 balls and a strike to the leadoff. Keys plays for Bucknell. And he cracks this one just foul up the first baseline to run the count full. Gleed has seen a lot of action up the first baseline over the last couple of days. I don't think we've seen more 3 unassisted putouts all season. That one just twisted foul before the bag. Williams is squared and set. The pitch on the ground towards second, just under the glove of Jackson. And that makes Keys 2 for 3 on the day. Tough play from Jackson. Definitely had a chance at it, but it just sneaks right under the leather. And Cotuit has a leadoff on first.
Next up, out of Arizona State, number 18, Jacob Tobias.
Pinch hitter coming in the game for Cotuit. It's Jacob Tobias. Haven't seen him in a while. Tobias out of Arizona State. Batted .317 there in 2023. He was a freshman All-American in 2022. Kicking the dirt around in the lefty box as he awaits the first pitch. Williams checks over on Keys. First pitch on the way. On the outside corner of the zone. Nice frame from Dykstra. Makes it strike 1. Brock Wills on deck, possibly the unluckiest guy of the day. The 0-1 flies in, looked like a similar location, but this time called the ball as the count evens up at 1-1. Keys has a small lead on first. Haven't seen a pickoff from Williams there yet. Completely focused on the guy at the plate. As the 1-1 comes in, high at the shoulders, 2 balls and a strike. Cotuit put up 6 runs in the 3rd inning. And that was before they even recorded the first out. Pickoff comes in towards first. Tobias still awaiting the 2-1. It's on the way and bumped foul just off the tip of the bat. 2-2. Paints the outside corner of the zone. Called strike 3. Out number 1 for Williams comes in an important spot. And he retires Tobias on pitches.
Williams has shown his ability to dot up at times throughout these first couple of outings from him. And another example, that was absolutely painted. The very furthest outside part of the zone that you could put that on for the called strike 3.
First pitch comes in and flies outside to Brock Wills, and elaborating on why he's the unluckiest guy today. His first hit flew all the way out to the right field fence, bounced off the yellow rubber top part at the top. Nicely located breaking ball falls in for strike 1. A ball and a strike to Wills. It bounced sky high and somehow twisted back into the ballpark. And then as Wills rounded second and headed for third, a perfect relay from Montgomery came in. And he was tagged out, sliding into third. That was the first out of the inning in that very long third. Finally got stuff going for YD.
Yeah, that was wild.
1-1 cracked over to short. The throw back to first in time for the 6-3 double play. Nicely done by Theo Hardy. Sean Keys tripped up trying to scamper back to the bag and couldn't get there in time. Williams hangs a 0 for the second time in a row, and we head to the bottom of the 5th, halfway through this one at Red Will. Leo Hardy, hero of the top of the fifth, leads off for YD in the 9th spot, about to flip it over for the 3rd time. He has a fly out today. His helmet is covered in dirt, unclear why, probably just knocked around in the dugout as Schulke comes out of the side slot, and he gets a taste of his own medicine as he lines out to the second baseman, Grant Norris. Schulke continues his streak of 1 pitch, 1 out as he moves into his 2nd inning of work. That brings up RJ Austin.
And we have just flown through these middle innings so far. YD needing to pick up some offense.
First pitch ball flies into Austin. He is 1 for 2 today. YD's only hit. He cracked a liner over towards left field, and now because of that, Haskins is way shifted over, probably about where Austin's hit snuck through, and he has a ton of space up the middle. Count runs 1-1 on the swing and missed. And ball 2 is high and away. That one came out of the high arm slot from Schulke. He's really good at hiding where that ball's going to come out of. As strike 2 comes in on that outside corner, almost an unhittable pitch as it trails away from the batter and crosses the plane just on the outside of the box as it continues away. The 2-2, ripped foul into, I hope, the net. It was toward a crowd of people. Went right over the Cotuit dugout. That was a scary looking foul ball. As we approach 6 o'clock p.m., 2-2 comes in and lined up the gap exactly where Cotuit made the space for him. And Austin has his 2nd hit in a row. Cotuit tried to beat him with the shift, and instead Austin beats the shift as YD has a runner on base, and Austin responsible for both of the team's hits today.
Austin has turned into a professional shift beater. I mean, he has just shown his ability to hit the ball anywhere where the fielders aren't throughout the season.
First pitch to Stafford, popped fly sky high, stays just foul. Schulke, the pitcher, comes in to snag it, as Johnson also had his helmet off, but that's a quick one, unfortunately, for Stafford, and 2 gone now for Braden Montgomery.
And that frustrates a lot of guys more than a strikeout does. Hitting would have been a catcher pop had it not been for Cam Schulke coming in to make that play. But just get way underneath the ball, and tough way for him to go down.
Pickoff comes into first. It's a close one, but Austin sneaks his hand back in there. Montgomery now from the left side. We've seen him from the right side already today. Fresh count, first pitch. Huge cut and miss. First strike 1. He's been a source of power lately for the Red Sox. He's been spraying the gaps out in the outfield, has done a nice job keeping his launch angle relatively flat as the 0-1 comes in. Soft contact up the middle, bounces towards Schulke, and he makes the play at first for out number 3. YD strands another. That's their 6th left on base, and we head to the top of the 6th. The Kettleers continue to lead 7-0 at Red Wheel. Norris leads off against Gage Williams. He's back out, and after giving up the long ball when he first came in, he's really settled in nicely and hung 2 zeros on the board in the last two. First pitch to Norris flies in. Framed up nicely by Connor Dykstra for strike one. Norris 0 for 3, but he has reached on an error. Other than that, has gone down swinging twice. The 0-1 on the way. Falls below the knees. A ball and a strike. Grant Norris playing in his 15th game, plays at Penn State as the 1-1 flies wide. 2 balls, 1 strike. Williams fires down the heart of the plate, strike 2. That one dropped in nicely on Norris as Williams looking to retire the first batter of the inning. Strike 3 on the outside corner. Runs away on the fastball. Nice life on it, and Williams gets a second one looking.
Talked about it in the last inning that Gage Williams has some serious locating skills to paint corners, and another looking strikeout for the righty.
Brings up Trevor Haskins. He doubled to start things off. That was a sign of what was to come for Cotuit as he watches ball 1 fly by. Other than that, he's actually reached all 3 times. Once on an error, once hit by a pitch. The 1-0 flies in for strike 1, a fastball at the bottom part of the zone. That's a pitch that Williams has gone to a couple of times today, and it's been working nicely for him. Haskins grounds this one up the middle, and it sneaks through the gap, just crosses second base, and he has his second hit of the day through the easier half of the cycle. He's making a nice debut against the Red Sox.
Been on base every time, and it's been somebody for Cotuit every single time these two teams have met that has had a breakout type of day.
Another leadoff aboard. Excuse me, not the leadoff. There is one gone. That one went quickly. I forgot about it as Mathis takes strike 1. It's sad today that Mathis and Matheson aren't right next to each other in the lineup. That's been the case for Cotuit all season. 0-1 swung on hard and missed.
I looked at the lineup, and then I was just writing in my book, and out of instinct, I put them next to each other in the lineup, and then I was cross-checking it, and it wasn't right. They're not next to each other anymore.
0-2 flies in, just misses on the inside part for ball 1. Haskins being checked on by Gleed over on first. Williams, the righty, has gone over there a couple of times, not recently, as the 1-2 comes in, a swing and a miss late from Mathis, and second strikeout of the inning for Gage Williams.
Next up, out of Kentucky, number 13, James McCoy.
Your YD, you are very glad that Williams has bounced back in the way that he has, because if you had to take him out of the game, this could have been a day where you ate through your bullpen. Instead, Williams just getting through a couple of innings for you and get to save some of those arms.
First pitch flown into left field, and that'll drop in front of Ryan Stafford. YD was playing deep, trying to keep everything in front, and that one stays in front for the second base hit of the inning. A jam shot to left from James McCoy, first hit of the day. He had reached previously on a hit by pitch, but it's the first one, does it of his own merit. Runners on first and second with 2 gone for Carter Matheson. A walk, a double, and a fly out today for the power hitter out of Indiana. The crimson ankle guard and sliding glove in his back pocket. First pitch chopped foul towards his own dugout. Count moves to 0-1. And Luke, returning to your point about Williams, I think YD was going to leave him in there and just take the damage. Already down 7-0. This isn't a day that you want to waste your bullpen on, especially heading towards games that might matter a little bit more in the East. You have a 9-point lead. Flown hard out towards center. Austin tracking back towards the wall. Should have it, and he does. Out number 3. Matheson gets a good beat on it, but can't get it out of the park as Williams hangs his third 0 in a row. The score still 7-0 as we head to the bottom half of the 6th. You're watching YD Baseball on the Cape League.
Now batting out of Mississippi
Bottom of the
State,
6th, Hunter Hines leads off a fly out and a strikeout swinging, a sword one at that. Tried to check it but went around. He got 2 of those calls going the opposite direction in that at-bat. Facing Cam Scholke for the first time today. 10 home runs on the season for Hines, and he holds off on a first pitch strike coming in on that outside corner. I don't even know what to call Scholke's pitches because of the submarine motion. The lateral movement is unlike so many other pitches we see regularly, as ball 1 runs all the way across the front of the plate but comes too far inside. A ball and a strike to Hines as ball 2 is not located properly in the opposite box.
It's kind of like that sweeper that they are now calling some major leaguers sliders.
2-1 falls low, and Hines is ahead 3-1, his favorite count, except for probably 3-0.
Even 3-0, though, you might feel a little added pressure if you get that green light to know you got to get a hit.
Goes after this one, but flares it foul over towards the parking lot. Best of luck to everyone's cars over there as the count runs full. We've seen a couple of smashed Winfields this season. Full count, ball 4, too low on the outside corner. A nice pitch from Scholke, but Hines stays disciplined, does not bite, and YD has a leadoff runner aboard for Casey Cook coming in for Xander Darby. Pinch hitter. Cook has been heating up as of late, definitely has power in the barrel when he can find the gaps. That's been his problem all season, is he's just really been unlucky in where he comes around and has been sending it straight to outfielders. Holds off on ball 1.
I'd be very interested because this league runs TrackMan on every game, and TrackMan spits out an expected batting average number.
The 1-0 grounded foul up the first base line.
And I gotta imagine with the way that Casey Cook has hit the ball this season that his expected batting average is significantly higher than the batting average that he has had. He has just had rotten luck.
Ball 2 flies outside, and Cook is ahead. One located on that outside corner. Just gets the call. A nice frame from Johnson to put that up a couple of inches, and the count's 2-2 with nobody out for Cook. the lefty out of North Carolina. Pitch comes in on the ground softly towards second. There's a one, the throw over to second, gets away into the outfield, and Hines will take third. Cook comes diving into second. And a disastrous error could have turned two for Cotuit. Instead, runners on second and third. The force taken out of play for Dub Gleed. Second piece of luck that YD has gotten today, but they haven't been able to capitalize on any of those opportunities, Luke.
Yeah, maybe some luck finally going Casey Cook's way. This is the moment right now, though. If you cannot score with two in scoring position and nobody out, I do not see YD making any sort of effort later on in this game. You have to score in this inning now.
Gleed will be the first to try to bring him across. 0 for 2 today, goes after the first one on the ground towards short. The throw to first is in time, and that does score one on the sacrifice hit from Dub Gleed. YD finally bites back, one gone, and the score is 7-1 Cotuit with Ryan Jackson at the plate. That is actually Garrett Ostrander coming in, another pinch hitter, as YD is emptying the bench. Ostrander, a recent addition to the YD outfield.
And that last play, Red Sox got a little bit lucky. Casey Cook was running on contact there from second base, and Hunter Hines was not. That could have turned very bad for the Red Sox if Cotuit had decided to go home with it, but luckily Haskins was positioned so far back at short that he had no chance. Hines got a late jump.
Cook on third. Jackson takes ball one on the outside. Schulke fires high at the shoulders. I can only describe that as a pitch similar to the rise ball in softball, because that, I swear, had upwards movement.
So it happens when you come from underneath the ball like that.
2-0. Jammed foul towards the bleachers on the opposite side.
It's not possible, of course, from a normal arm slot in baseball to have that pitch rise, but a submariner certainly can get that spin on the lower part of the ball to get it to run up on you a little bit.
Same kind of pitch flying outside, but high and away. And Ostrander's ahead of 3 balls, 1 strike with Dykstra on deck.
I'd like to see how Schulke's sweeper, in terms of spin rate, lines up to Darren Hornslider, who leads the league.
Late swing and a miss from Ostrander, as finally that rising pitch from Schulke is over the plate in the off speed.
Leading the league, I should say, in terms of RPM.
Quiet here as the full count. Payoff comes in, just pushed foul from Ostrander. It was flying up, likely would have been above the zone, but not a bad move to foul it off on the defensive swing. We'll do it again with the full count, 1 gone. Schulke steps off the mound to reset himself. Payoff on the way, pushed foul late again. Ostrander is holding off until the last second, but he's done a nice job battling it off so far as he readies to face the 8th pitch of this at-bat. Another 3-2 this time, swung on and missed. And Ostrander goes down on strikes for the second time in his Red Sox career, which only started recently, and there's 2 gone. For Connor Dykstra. Dykstra, 4 hits, 4 RBIs this season, and with Cook on third, has a chance at one here. He had a hit recently and holds off on ball 1. Strike 1 breaks into the bottom part of the zone. Counts even at 1-1 with 2 gone. Schulke. Nas staring down Cook at third. Really small lead from him as the 1-1 is a big cut and a miss for strike 2. On these swing and misses, the YD batters have been ahead of it. Pitch comes in, pushed foul into the dugout of Cotuit. Solid contact from Dykstra. We've seen a lot of that on these pitches from Schulke when there is contact made towards foul territory, especially from the righties. Because that pitch is trailing away from the batter, they get to it late. It's where it goes. Check swing. Went around. Strike 3. The sword ends the inning. YD strikes for 1 first of the day, and it's 7-1. Heading to the top of the 7th at Red Wilson Field, it's Perri, Kitei, and Luke West Poley on the Cape League broadcast.
Top of the 7th inning, 7-1 our score with Cotuit leading YD. Red Sox finally got their first run of the game. They have only 2 hits so far. Did not have a hit in that last inning, but scored an unearned run as Hunter Hines came around to score on the sac fly, or the rather RBI ground out from Dub Gleed. First pitch is on the outer corner for strike 1 from Gage Williams, who's done a nice job in relief after a shaky first inning. So 1 offering comes in, and it's jammed up the middle. That's going to trickle through for a base hit. Little bleeder from Dylan Johnson. He's got his first hit of the day. He's on base for the 3rd time, and the Kettleers offense continuing to roll along here in the 7th inning. Williams, after that first, cleaning things up has been big for YD. If he came back in his 2nd inning of work and had a similar performance, we might have seen a new pitcher have to come in. Instead, he's eaten up a couple of innings. Middle part of this game, trying to keep the Kettleers off the board for a 4th straight inning here in the 7th. Sean Keys fouls off the first pitch. He's had a good day at the plate, 2 for 3 with a single and a homer. Last time up, he singled and tripped and fell following a secondary lead on a lineout, was doubled off by the YD shortstop Theo Hardy. He takes strike 2. Williams getting ready to throw pitch number 63 out of the bullpen. Pitch is outside, a ball and 2 strikes. We saw a tremendous effort from Ryan Delgado out of the bullpen a couple of days ago for YD, who went 5 1/3 innings in relief and got the win. Pitch is spoiled foul, and the count remains 1-2 to Sean Keys. Seven runs off 9 hits, 1 error for the Kettleers. 1 run off 2 hits, 2 errors for YD. This pitch is lifted, pretty well hit out towards left center field, going back at the wall, and it bounces off the wall in a hop. RJ Austin has trouble pulling it off the base of the wall. Johnson rounding third. The play at the plate is not in time, and he slides in safely. It's an RBI double for Sean Keys, who is now a triple shy of the cycle, and Cotuit gets the run back. It's now 8-1 Kettleers.
Sean Keyes has been phenomenal today. He's been spraying it all through the gaps. That one powered all the way to the fence without even bouncing on the liner. The power off that bat, undeniable. Really nice add to the roster as of late for Cotuit.
Jacob Tobias getting a second at bat after coming in as a pinch hitter in the 5th. Struck you out looking against Gage Williams. Deals the first pitch ball outside, 1-0. Whitey has made some defensive changes, now at third Dove lead. Ostrander playing second for the Red Sox, and Casey Cook playing first. Montgomery remains in right. Austin is still in centers. This one is rolled over towards second base. It's going to be a tough play. Rushing it on to first. Ostrander has it into the glove of Casey Cook for the out. Runner moves from second to third, but there is now one gone in the 7th inning.
That's really not an easy play for Ostrander to make because he's not an infielder by training. He's an outfielder, and playing it off the dirt like that when you're not used to it. He did a nice job corralling it when it came up on him before making the throw in time. It's really important to make sure in that situation that you have the ball first before trying to do anything with it. That's where we see a lot of errors come into play.
Whitey's going to bring the infield in here to try and prevent further damage in this inning. First pitch misses off the plate to Brock Wills. Man, it has been some sort of unlucky day for Wills that I'm sure he probably hasn't had in a while after the sac fly that he had. As he rolls the 1-0 towards the first base side. And it's a fair ball, and the Red Sox get the out at first. No one ran there because everyone thought that went off of Will's foot. But it didn't, and that's the second out. Runner made no move to come to the plate, really had no chance to. And you could say that's another one in the long line of bad luck for Brock Wills after hitting a double off the literal top of the wall and getting thrown out, trying to stretch it into a triple and lining out into a double play. He now adds the ground out he thought was a foul ball onto the list. This one is hit a mile in the air out towards left field. Ryan Stafford is over to it and makes the catch to put away Grant Norris, and that ends the inning. Headed to the 7th inning stretch here from Red Wilson Field as the Kettleers are back out in front by 7. 8-1 Ketts. You're watching Whitey Baseball on the Cape League.
Number 11, Theo.
Theo Hardy leading off for YD in the bottom of the 7th inning. Cam Schulke returns to the mound. It's 8-1 Kettleers. Luke West Poley with Perri Kitei as always. Our producer Anna Tedeschi on hand as well as Hardy takes a first pitch strike on the outer corner. Red Sox scored a run in the bottom of the 6th. The Kettleers immediately answered with one of their own. Keep the lead at 7 runs. Hardy fouls the 0-1 off himself. No balls and 2 strikes to Theo out of San Jose State. Hardy will climb back in, flag flying lazily out towards left field, but balls have been carrying today. A lot of extra base hits. 0-2 drops low to Hardy. He is 0 for 2 with a flyout and a lineout.
Part of it, I think, is the lack of humidity. It's been such a humid summer that the air has felt heavy, and it's certainly been keeping balls in the ballpark, but today is not one of those days. It's an extremely clear day.
Pitch misses outside, 2-2.
Not a cloud in the sky, and I think that's definitely been helping these balls cut through the air.
Speaking of weather, the 2-2 comes in, and it's lined out towards center coming on. Carter Matheson makes the catch. 1 out.
Next up, Alexander,
Tomorrow
number 9,
in Hartford,
RJ
it is going to be
Austin.
90 degrees and mostly sunny. So a hot one, but good baseball weather is for the Red Sox. They will make their way off Cape. RJ Austin at the plate. Takes the first pitch outside. 2023 Cape Cod Classic back at Dunkin' Donuts Park in Hartford, Connecticut, home of the Hartford Yard Goats. As the strike is in there, the Double-A affiliate of the Colorado Rockies. Wednesday, July 26th, that's tomorrow at 11 a.m. as the Red Sox take on the Hyannis Harbor Hawks. Breaking ball is hammered down the line in left field. That's going to drop. Cut off before it reaches the wall by Wills. That's going to limit Austin to a long single. But he has his third straight hit as he is now 3 for 4.
Next up,
And he accounts
number 7,
personally for all of YD's hits.
Stafford.
It's really tough when you have a day like that because you feel like you're doing everything you possibly can to contribute to this team. You're having a 3 for 4 day, and the rest of the lineup just hasn't been able to back him up. And really, we haven't seen a lot of hard contact from YD all day. It's only been off the bat of Austin. It's not like they've been unlucky. In fact, they've had a couple breaks go their way.
Bounce off the top of the fence being, of course, the main one. Also, Casey Cook reaching on that fielder's choice, and YD ended up getting a run as, despite the fielder's choice, an error in the middle infield meant Cotuit didn't get an out on that play. That was in the last inning. Stafford moved his hands, but he holds off on the 0-1. It's a ball and a strike. Seen a couple of games like this, but part of the reason why YD leads the East Division is they've limited these lopsided performances for most of the season. This ball is crushed. Left field, way back going. Wills at the wall, and it's gone. Ryan Stafford goes yard for the first time this season. It's a 2-run shot, and the Red Sox maybe not going away here in the 7th. It's 8-3.
What a response from Ryan Stafford. I said YD hadn't hit it hard all day, and he stepped up to prove me wrong. That's the best hit ball we've seen off the bat of Stafford all year, and no doubter, straight down the line and left. Luckily for YD, Austin was on base. First time they've put together back-to-back hits, and it scores 2 runs.
So 8-3 our score as Braden Montgomery takes a slider in for a strike. He is 0 for 1 but has walked twice. The 1 through 5 hitters in the order have all reached base at least once for YD as Montgomery shoots this one the other way for a base hit. 3 hits now in the inning for YD. We saw them do this 2 games ago, I should say, against Cotuit, and it was too little too late. They're getting started a little bit earlier here in the 7th. That game, it was in the 9th. Got through 2 pitchers for the Kettleers before they were finally able to slam the door. Montgomery jumping back on a snappy pickoff move by Schulke, but he's back in time. But the Red Sox are hanging around here in this game, and now Hunter Hines is at the plate. Another pickoff move, and Montgomery has the hand in there.
This is the lineup second time through seeing Schulke. They're waiting back more on those breaking balls.
First pitch is upstairs for ball 1. Hines walked and came around to score an unearned run in the last inning. He was YD's first run. A ball and no strikes to Hunter. He'll be followed by Casey Cook. And Hines breaks his bat, sends this one high in the air to right. McCoy coming up to it, and he makes the catch. Drifting forward for the second out of the inning. Unfortunate there for Hunter that he broke his bat. That might have carried a little deeper had he not, but got jammed up there. And that will bring in Casey Cook. For YD, you love to not strand that runner on base. But Casey Cook going to have to extend this inning if the Red Sox want to do that. That pitch is absolutely painted for strike one by Cam Schulke. Checks on the runner over at first. Cook is due. We've now seen a home run on the YD side of things after we saw a couple from Cotuit. 0-1 is a strike called at the top part of the zone, 0-2. Dub Gleed on deck for the Red Sox. Got an RBI his last time up. Trying to just keep the train moving here with 2 outs. Cook pops this one up. This should do it for the inning. Coming over from short. Haskins underneath it. Backpedaling, he makes the catch. And that ends the 7th. 8-3 our score with YD getting a couple of runs off the 2-run shot from Ryan Stafford. The Red Sox catcher hits his first of the season, and the Red Sox have the lead at its smallest since the second inning. You're watching YD Baseball on the Cape League. The Arbor Dennis Red Sox want to thank Cape Cod Veterinary Specialists for sponsoring this broadcast. Cape Cod Veterinary Specialists provide premier emergency and specialty care for your beloved companions. They are located in Dennis and Buzzards Bay and are open 24 hours a day. Gage Williams is back to it for YD. Red Sox have made this a closer game after 2 runs came across in the 7th. The first pitch is wrapped foul by Trevor Haskins, who has reached base in all 4 plate appearances in this one. A double, a single, a hit by pitch, and a reach on an error, one of 2 that YD committed to back-to-back batters. Hit on the ground over towards short. Hardy waits, now charges, and sidearms over to first for out number 1. 1 gone in the top of the 8th inning as Cole Mathis comes up. He's hit a home run in this game. Outside of that, he has been empty offensively, but that was a big one for Cotuit back in the 3rd. YD will bring the shift into play. We haven't seen that a ton today. And he crushes this one out towards left field. Stafford going back at the wall, and it is gone. 2-home run game for Cole Mathis. And that's his 9th of the year, placing him just 1 behind the league lead and YD's Hunter Hines. It's another run for Cotuit in the 8th, and it's 9-3 Kettleers.
2 home runs for the birthday boy, and that will ring in his 20th year. As Cotuit gets 1 back from YD, and they lead 9-3.
This Cotuit offense has been relentless as the first pitch misses outside to James McCoy. He's 1 for 3, has scored a run after he got hit by a pitch in the 3rd. 1 run in the second, 6 in the third for Cotuit. They then went scoreless through 4, 5, and 6. 1 in each of the last 2 now for the Kettleers. McCoy flares the 2-1 to the opposite field, racing back on it. Stafford reaching the wall, and with his hand against it, he makes the catch. 2 outs in the top of the 8th
Number 12, Carter Matheson.
for Carter Matheson. The Red Sox find themselves down by 6. So in all likelihood, as the first pitch ball dealt out by Williams, this will probably spell the end of the 4-game win streak for YD, barring anything miraculous. Crazier things, of course, have happened. Pitch is in there for a strike. Red Sox have mounted a couple of late-inning comebacks this season. None more important, I should say, as this one's chopped over to short. Hardy coming a long way, and he makes the play over to first base to retire the side. YD has come back from down 4 in the 9th inning before. That was against the Wareham Gatemen, but they will have some work to do. We will keep you here for our game recap as we are heading to the bottom of the 8th inning. 9-3 our score, with the Kettleers leading the Red Sox. Cotuit got things started in the top of the 2nd inning as they scored a run as Carter Matheson walked in, came around. No hits, I should say, happened in that inning. But Cotuit scored their first run in that 2nd frame and then exploded in the 3rd, chasing Gavin Bruni out for YD as he failed to record an out in the 3rd inning. Final line on Bruni was 2 innings pitched, 2 hits, 4 runs, 3 earned, 3 walks, and 3 strikeouts for the Ohio State lefty. Red Sox brought on Gage Williams, who gave up a few runs of his own, but stabilized things through 4, 5, and 6. Red Sox got their first run in the bottom of the 6th inning, and the teams have traded back and forth since. 1 run in the 7th and 8th for the Kettleers, 2 runs in the bottom of the 7th inning, coming off a 2-run shot from Ryan Stafford that came in the 7th. Cape Cod isn't just any community, it's our community at Cape Cod Healthcare. Our mission to provide exceptional high-quality care for our neighbors and visitors is at the core of everything we do. From wellness initiatives and preventative screenings to leading-edge technology and specialized clinical expertise, our dedicated team is committed to delivering care that enhances the well-being of all in this special region. Cape Cod Healthcare congratulates the Cape Cod Baseball League on its 100-year anniversary and is proud to be this year's official healthcare sponsor. Learn more at capecodhealth.org. Cape Cod Healthcare, caring, commitment, community. See a new arm coming to the mound for the Kettleers in relief of Cam Schulke, who went through in a few innings. Looks like Will Jacobson out there, the senior righty out of San Francisco, California. Collegiately plays for the Harvard Crimson, and he will take over in a 9-3 game here in the bottom of the 8th. They'll throw it down, and we will get set to begin things here in the bottom of the 8th inning as Dov Gleed strides up to the plate.
This bottom of the lineup today for YD has not been extremely productive. It's that top of the order that's done most of the getting on base today for the Red Sox.
Lee does have an RBI, but hitless and part of this bottom of the order and has not reached base yet. 0 for 3 on the day.
The next 3 following Gleed have not reached base at all as well.
Everybody 6 through 9. Top 5 guys have all reached for YD, but it's been a struggle for the bottom half of their order. Gleed is ahead 2-0 against the new pitcher in Will Jacobson. Or I beg your pardon, this is 46, not 45, in Robert Hughes out of Clemson. And he has the count at 3-0. Apologize for that. Stayed on for the middle inning and misread the pitching change. 3-0 the pitch. Paints the strike zone.
Hughes is making his 4th appearance, only his 3rd inning pitched.
This ball is crushed out towards left field. Will's giving it a chase into foul ground, and he runs into the sidewall. We have seen Gleed do that a good amount, of sending a ball for a ride out to left field in foul territory. That might have been a home run if it was fair.
Might have been. That sailed behind everybody sitting behind the fence. That ball was hammered. Just couldn't keep it fair as the count's full.
Gleed lifts this one out towards right center, racing after it. Matheson on the run makes the catch. Leadoff man retired in the bottom of the 8th. Garrett Ostrander now getting his 2nd look at the plate, struck out swinging in the 6th.
Number 5, Garrett Ostrander.
Ostrander at a Cal Baptist. Facing off against Robert Hughes. Takes the first pitch outside. Hughes, a college baseball veteran, headed into his 5th year. Missed the entirety of the 2022 spring and summer for returning in 2023 in 12 relief appearances for the Clemson Tigers. Played his first 2 seasons at Furman, and then their program was dropped over COVID, and so he transferred to Clemson. 2 balls and no strikes. Ostrander squares to bunt and takes a strike at the top part of the zone. Really just sad what happened to a lot of really good and historic baseball programs that were dropped due to budget cuts in 2020. Furman, one of the many college baseball victims. Ostrander flies this one pretty well, hit out towards right, but McCoy has the room and makes the catch. That's the 2nd out of the inning. Up until that point, although both spots had been pinch hit for, now we're going to see another pinch hitter as Manny Garza will come in for Connor Dykstra. The 7 and 8 spots in the order between Jackson, Ostrander, Kling, and Dykstra were 0 for 6 with 6 strikeouts. It's the first time they put a ball in play. And now we will see a 2nd pinch hitter in the 8th spot as Manny Garza comes in.
Garza's had a nice start to the season. He's 5 for 15, 3 runs scored, an RBI, 2 walks. He's made an impact immediately upon arrival.
Switch hitting catcher out of Rice. Pushes that one foul into the seats. Nothing in 1. Sky has darkened a bit, but this game has moved at a pretty quick pace to this point. Looks like Max Banks warming up in the Whitey bullpen. Likely set to come on in the 9th as Gage Williams has gone 6 in relief. Look out. Garza loses the bat. Some pine tar on that thing as he'll face an 0-2 count. Watch out. That's almost, I feel like, scarier than some balls that might be hit at you, because a ball, at least you know if you're ducking out of the way, you're probably not going to get hit. A bat, it feels like, could fly all manner of directions, and it's got a bigger surface area to hit you if it's flying at you.
That one was sent really far.
0-2 cut on and missed, strike 3, and that ends the 8th inning. Robert Hughes comes on in relief and works a clean 8th. It's still 9-3 Kettleers as we head to inning number 9. It'll be Max Banks coming in for YD. That when we come back on the Cape League. Made our way to the 9th inning here from Red Wilson Field. A beautiful night on Cape Cod. This game has not gone the Red Sox way and is looking like their 4-game win streak is going to come to an end tonight before they make the trip to Hartford, Connecticut tomorrow. Max Banks coming into the game for YD. 5th appearance for the righty at a Chapman University, Division III power program in California. And he will come on to face the Kettleers for the 2nd time. First pitch from him is on the way to Dylan Johnson, down low for ball 1. Banks went through 3 appearances where things didn't exactly go his way. Gave up 4 runs in just a third of an inning in his debut against Orleans. A run in his 2nd appearance against Falmouth, and then 4 in 2 innings of work against Cotuit. But really got things right, working an inning against Brewster his last time out on July 21st, in which he struck out 2 and didn't allow a walk or a hit. And he has the count at 1-2 to Dylan Johnson, who is 1 for 2 in this game with a single and 2 walks. Fastball low that time, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Gage Williams went 6 innings, 9 hits, 5 runs, all earned, 1 walk and 4 strikeouts for the righty from Georgia Gwinnett. Two is line, left side, fair ball. All the way into the corner. Johnson pulling in towards second base as the throw comes rolling into the infield. And it is a leadoff double to begin the 9th for the Kettleer offense.
Number 17, Sean Key.
That's an unlucky one, both that it stayed fair and that it leapt just over the glove of Dub Glead. We've seen him make a leap and grab like that before, but this one just a couple inches too far.
Runner on second with nobody out for Sean Keys, who is a triple shy of the cycle. That's a ball low. Malfunctioning sprinklers have sent fans running for the hills here at Red Wilson Field over by the bullpens. Ball and no strikes to Keys. Banks working out of the stretch here, shifting his weight back and forth. A sword swing. Ball and a strike. Keys has had a strong showing, starting off on the right foot here on Cape through a couple of appearances. He's now 4 for 6 over his couple of games on Cape. Or 4 for 7, I should say. Still over 500 on the batting average. Of course, very solid. Has a chance to drive in another Kettleer run today as Cotuit looks to get back in the win column and keep their lead atop the West Division. Pitch drops down low. Garza will look over to second base but not throw, as he's now behind home plate after pinch hitting for Connor Dykstra. Cotuit cannot lose the division lead in just one day. So coming into today, their lead atop the West was safe. Even if they lost and Hyannis won, they'd still be 1 point up. But the Harbor Hawks have made it close. That a couple of bad days and things not going their way could mean they relinquish the division lead for the first time in a while. 3-1 gets away. That's ball 4, and it's also going to move the runner up. Johnson gets to third. Keys aboard for the 4th time. And that will bring up Jacob Tobias, who will get his 3rd at-bat as a substitution.
YD, meanwhile, has 9 points ahead in the lead in the East, so that is 4.5 games. Really big lead for the Red Sox, so while this one might hurt, it won't spell the end of things necessarily.
Pitching coach out of the dugout for YDF. The Red Sox go 500 the rest of the regular season. The division win is theirs. But you're still playing for that momentum. You want to carry that confidence into the playoffs. Of course, you want to be playing winning baseball, and especially with the series in this league as short as they are, with everything just being best of 3. If you don't start off on a strong note in the playoffs, you could find yourself in a whole world of hurt and at risk of getting an early exit from the postseason. Mound visit will break up as runners are on the corners for Jacob Tobias. Last year, YD made it to the East Division Final, the semifinals of the Cape League, dropping that series to the Brewster Whitecaps. Beat Orleans in the first round of the playoffs. The first pitch is outside from Banks for ball 1. If everything were to hold, YD would play Brewster in the first round of the playoffs. But things likely to shift at least a little bit between now and playoff time. This one ripped into right. Austin will have to play it on a hop. Or I beg your pardon, that's Montgomery as the run comes in to score with Austin out in center field. Keys was frozen on contact, so he gets up to just second base. But Cotuit has put up double digits on the Red Sox. It's now 10-3 Kettleers in the ninth.
And number 3, Brock Willis.
Brock Wills, the batter for the Kettleers. First and second, nobody out.
That's Tobias' 5th hit against YD all season. He's 5 for 11 overall. He's had a nice time against the Red Sox.
Kettleers looking to sweep the regular season series here tonight.
Nobody in the YD bullpen, so this one belongs to Max Banks. It's 10-3. It's already gotten away from YD. The final score, it'll just be a matter of by how many.
Pitch is in there for a strike. Red Sox have beaten every team in the Cape League except for these Cotuit Kettleers. Had their number all season. Pitch misses off the plate. Not necessarily a slight on this team, though. The Kettleers have really been dominant. These last few days have not been indicative of what the rest of the season has looked like for Cotuit. There was a point at which it looked like they could just kind of mail it in and still win the West Division. Hyannis has gone screaming hot, though, to make things close at least. 2-1 hit on the ground over to short. This could be 2. Hardy flips to second for 1. Ostrander to first, not in time. It's a fielder's choice. Runners now on the corners, but Max Banks gets the first out of this 9th inning, and that'll bring up the top of the order for the Kettleers. Despite all the offensive successes they've seen today, Grant Norris has had a rough day at the plate. He is 0 for 5 with 3 strikeouts. But coming in with a chance to pick up an RBI here. Looping breaking ball finds the outside part of the zone for strike 1.
That's really Max Banks' best pitch right there. When he's locating that well, it sweeps across the whole zone on a diagonal, starts up high, slides all the way down, and it's caused a lot of swing and miss.
Just threw it again and got the swing and miss for strike 2. There's a golden sombrero on the line for Grant Norris. Swing and a miss, strike 3. So it will be a golden sombrero for the leadoff hitter for Cotuit, but that is not meant a thing clearly to the rest of this offense, who put up 10 runs. 2 gone in the 9th for Trevor Haskins.
And for those of you that don't know what a golden sombrero is, as I did not heading into this season until I met my broadcast partner, Luke West Poley, that means 4 strikeouts.
If YD was to miraculously tie this game, the platinum sombrero would be on the table with a 5th strikeout potentially if he came back in the 10th. That would be something if that happened.
It's already the 6th time through the order for Cotuit.
So Norris is now 0 for 6. Haskins takes on the hands for ball 2. He's got 2 hits today. He's 2 for 4. He's also been hit by a pitch, reached on an error and scored. 2 gone for Banks. As he tries to get through this inning, limited to just 1 run for the Kettleers. Doing 1 the count to Haskins. A breaking ball misses upstairs for ball 3. I wonder, because if it exists, I don't know what it's called, but if there's a word for 6 strikeouts in a game, is there, I mean, I'm trying to think of something that would be higher than platinum. It's called a horn, apparently. Fouled off, and that makes the count 3-2. That's courtesy of the Wikipedia page for Golden Sombrero, by the way. The term was coined by pitcher Mike Flanagan after teammate Sam Horn of the Baltimore Orioles accomplished the feat in an extra inning game in 1991. I don't know if you will ever see that if you watch baseball your whole life, but there you go. Runner goes with the 3-2 count, and the pitch is fouled off.
I really appreciate the wording of that, accomplished that feat, as if 6 strikeouts is something to be proud of. Honestly, it is an accomplishment, but I think he definitely had a lot of reflecting to do when he went home that night.
I mean, how much of it is a reflection of you as much as it is on your manager for not pinch hitting you when you're clearly not seeing the ball well that day? The 3-2, that's in there, called strike 3. And that will get Max Banks out of this 9th inning. He gives up 1 run, but holds it at that as he strands a pair on base, and we head to the bottom of the 9th from Red Wilson Field. 10-3 Kettleers. You're watching Whitey Baseball on the Cape League. Bottom of the 9th inning, 10-3 is our score, with Cotuit leading YD and a pinch hitter to start things off for the Red Sox. Brady Day will hit for Theo Hardy, who is 0 for 2. This is the bottom of the order that's coming up for the 3rd time. Cotuit has gone through the order 6 times, through the top part of their order, I should say. Robert Hughes back on the mound, and the first pitch to Brady Day comes home. Drops low for ball 1. Brady Day told me today he was picked in the 12th round by the Atlanta Braves. He will not be signing, and he will be returning to play another year at Kansas State. Good news for Wildcat fans. He fouls the 1-0 pitch back. It's a ball and a strike.
Big news that's kind of been the unanswered question here, as Day has remained on the roster at YD even after that day in the draft.
He was the highest player picked for YD that was still active at the time of draft day. And he lines this one out into center field for a base hit. Red Sox get their first hit off of Robert Hughes. And that flips it over to the top of the order. R.J. Austin has been on an absolute tear and continued that today with a 3 for 4 performance that he can add to here in the 9th. With nobody out, Hughes comes exclusively out of the stretch. Austin shoots this one into right and tails just foul.
That looked fair off the bat and trailed away at the last second. Would have definitely spelled extra bases. I think Day could have come around to score on a hit like that. Austin's been so good straight up the lines this year.
Pitch misses low for a ball. That's probably a guaranteed triple if it lands fair at any other ballpark, but this one, it's probably limited to a two-bagger, but it, like you said, would have likely brought in Brady Day. Playing the hypothetical game here. Back to real life, and the 1-1 pitch is floated into right. McCoy drifting back on it, and he makes the catch to retire the first out of the 9th inning.
Next up, out of Cal Poly, number 7, Ryan Stafford.
Sometimes down by 7 runs, the hypothetical game is all you can do. Stafford, the home run hitter of the day, up to the plate now. He hit one with Austin on first. Now Day is there.
Honestly, I'm looking down in my book, and this top of the order has been fine offensively for YD. Ryan Stafford is 1 for 2 with 2 walks and a homer. We already talked about R.J. Austin, and Braden Montgomery, who's batting right behind him, is also 1 for 2 with 2 walks. So the top 3 guys have been just fine getting on base, which is what you want for the top of your order. But the Red Sox have not produced enough to stay competitive in this game. Two balls and no strikes to Ryan Stafford. And Hughes gets the called strike. It's 2-1. Runner not being held on at first. No reason to with this kind of lead. 2-1 is outside, ball 3. So Stafford ahead in the count. He could maybe walk for the 3rd time. We talked about having a lot of strikeouts in the top of the inning. How about having a lot of walks? That one just clips the edge for strike 2, and we will see a full count offer.
That's a really nice pitch from Robert Hughes. The fastball on the 3-ball count. Didn't leave it over the middle at all. That would have been really tough for Stafford to get off.
Swing and a miss on the payoff pitch. Got Stafford to raise his sights and chase one up high. He's down on strikes for the first time. Second fan for Robert Hughes. And the Red Sox down to their final out as Braden Montgomery comes up to the plate.
Braden Montgomery.
Montgomery was available to pitch in this game if needed. The first pitch comes down low, but in a game like this, there was obviously no reason to throw him. A true two-way. And what we talked about, one of the more ridiculously talented people you will find as he hits the 1-0 in the air foul on the left side. We talked about his ACT score before. He's got the smarts. He switch hits. He two-ways. I mean, it's just unbelievable. Runner goes. Montgomery loses his bat. Day gets into second base safely. Montgomery with a smile on his face. That's the second straight inning where we've seen a YD batter lose their bat. He gets it back.
Johnson was going to go for it. He did go for it, but I think was slightly distracted as the rest of us were with Montgomery's bat flying across.
Yeah, that's a good way to steal a base. Have the batter throw his bat. 1-2, swing and a miss, and the ball game is over. And so that'll do it as Cotuit takes down YD and completes the season sweep. The Kettleers win it 10-3, and they get their 24th win of the season as they continue to pace the West Division for YD. All is not lost. They dropped to 21-15-1 on the year, but still hold a couple of games in between them and second in the East. YD will look to rebound tomorrow as they make their way off Cape. It's an early departure for an early 11 a.m. start against the Hyannis Harbor Hawks from Dunkin' Donuts Park tomorrow morning. Perri, YD really just feel like they didn't have it in this game. You were looking after that 6th spot in the 3rd for maybe 1 or 2 runs to come across in each of the next few innings. The Red Sox didn't get one until the 6th. Really just felt like a flat offensive night on a day where their pitching really did not come through for them like they would have needed to stay in this game.
We talked about at the beginning how a lot was going to be dependent on Bruni's pitching, and he was just a little bit wild today, throwing outside of the zone, gave up a few too many free passes, and YD pulled him after the 2nd inning. Gage Williams comes in, that grand slam really closed the door on YD, I think, and once they left the bases stranded, loaded in the next inning, that felt like it was the end of the day, and after that, even though they put up 2 more runs in the 7th, it's just too little too late once again. Another day where the pitching was really good for most of the part. I mean, giving up 4 runs throughout, scattered, except for that 1 6-run 3rd. That frame just spelled the day for the Red Sox. The good news is you don't give up too much out of your bullpen. You have some of your best guys hot for tomorrow when you're on the road versus Hyannis, a team that's really good. Right now, they're chasing down Cotuit in the West, so that's a battle that's going on. And we're about to go really on the road, not just to Hyannis, but to Connecticut tomorrow. Hartford, the game will be played at Dunkin' Donuts Ballpark, a minor league baseball park, which is really, really exciting for, I think, all of us involved.
Yeah, should be a fun one tomorrow, the annual Cape Cod Classic that the Red Sox and the Hyannis Harbor Hawks have been involved in for the past couple of years. It has been a fun one to be a part of and very excited for tomorrow morning. Final line score for Cotuit, 10 runs off 13 hits, 1 error, and 10 left. YD scores 3 off 6 hits, 2 errors, and 9 left. Cam Schulke picks up the win in this one, who went 4 innings, 4 hits, 3 runs, 2 earned, 1 walk, and 4 strikeouts. The losing pitcher is Gavin Bruni, 2 innings pitched, 2 hits, 4 runs, 3 earned, 3 walks, and 3 strikeouts for the Ohio State Buckeye. This game lasted 2 hours and 38 minutes. So we recapped it, and that will wrap it up here from Red Wilson Field. We'll see you tomorrow morning. Once again, 11 a.m. start from Dunkin' Donuts Ballpark, home of the Hartford Yard Goats, AA affiliate of the Colorado Rockies. Very, very excited to be talking to you then. And until tomorrow, for Perri, Kitei, and Anna Tedeschi, the rest of our great crew from the YD Red Sox